Welcome to Quicklit, your gateway to book wisdom.
All right, so today we're diving deep into something I know a lot of you have been asking about, the power of your subconscious mind. And to help us break it all down, we've got Dr. Joseph Murphy's book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. This book is really a classic. It's like this roadmap to understanding how this hidden part of your mind shapes literally your whole life, everything from success and relationships to even your health and happiness.
It really is amazing how much influence it has that we're not even really aware of.
And the coolest part is Dr. Murphy doesn't just tell you about it. He actually gives you these practical tools you can use to harness that power. So today, we're going to try to pull out the most actionable insights from this book and get you started on using them right away.
Yeah, think of it like a cheat sheet to mastering your own mind.
Exactly. So Dr. Murphy, he starts with this idea of two minds, one power, basically saying that we have this one mind. But it works in these two really different ways.
He compares it to an iceberg. Just the tip you see above the water. That's your conscious mind. It's what you use to reason and make choices and focus your attention. But then the massive part that's hidden under the surface, that's your subconscious.
Okay, so what's going on in that underwater part?
Well, it's doing a lot. I mean, it's running a lot of your automatic systems.
Yeah.
You're breathing, your heartbeat. But it also holds on to your emotions, your memories, habits, even your creative potential. And here's the thing. Dr. Murphy says your subconscious is constantly at work trying to make your thoughts and beliefs a reality, whether you're even aware of them or not.
So if you're always thinking oh, I can't do this, your subconscious is actually listening and could be making that happen.
That's exactly what he suggests. It's a bit of a double-edged sword. If you're not careful about the thoughts that you're feeding your subconscious, it could be working against you. He actually tells this story about a man who desperately wanted his daughter to get well. And he kept repeating this phrase, "I would give my right arm to see my daughter healthy again."
Wow, that's pretty specific. What happened?
Tragically, he ended up losing his right arm in an accident, and his daughter remained ill. So it's like a stark example of how powerful those repeated thoughts can be, even if you don't consciously intend for them to happen that way.
Okay, that's kind of unsettling. But if we flip that around, does that mean if we can learn to choose those positive thoughts and beliefs, then we can basically reprogram our minds for success, health, whatever we want to achieve?
Yeah, precisely. And this is where it gets really exciting, because Dr. Murphy gives all these different techniques to do just that. One of the most powerful ones is what he calls autosuggestion.
Autosuggestion, is that self-hypnosis or something?
Not exactly. It's more about repeatedly suggesting these positive ideas to your subconscious mind until they just kind of take root and become a part of your belief system. You can kind of think of it like planting seeds in a garden. The more you nurture them with those positive thoughts and beliefs, the more likely they are to flourish.
So these positive thoughts and beliefs, they can actually turn into real results in your life.
That's the idea. It's all about getting your conscious and subconscious minds working together towards the same goals. And he has all these cool case studies in the book that show this in action. For example, he talks about this young singer who's struggling with really bad stage fright.
Oh man, stage fright, that can be so debilitating for performers. How does she overcome it?
Well, she used the power of visualization. So she would imagine herself performing confidently on stage, feeling calm and in control. And by doing that consistently, she was able to reprogram her automatic response to the situation.
So she basically tricked her mind into believing she could do it, and then it became real.
Exactly. And it wasn't just a one-time fix. It helped her permanently overcome her stage fright and achieve the success that she'd always wanted. And there's another one. He talks about a woman who used affirmations to actually restore her memory.
So we're talking visualization affirmations. These are some of the tools we can use to tap into this subconscious power. And it seems like it can be applied to all sorts of challenges. I'm curious, what does he say about attracting wealth? Because I know that's something a lot of people are interested in.
He talks about having a wealth consciousness. So it's not just about having money. It's about this internal state of abundance and prosperity.
So instead of just chanting, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, you're really talking about shifting your mindset to actually believe you can create wealth.
Exactly. You need to think and feel and act as if wealth is already flowing into your life. So visualize yourself using money wisely and generously. Imagine the good you could do with it.
So it's more about building that confidence from within instead of waiting for that validation from having tons of money.
Yeah, that's it. It's about focusing on providing value and believing that abundance is like your birthright. And it's not about greed or materialism. It's more about aligning yourself with the flow of prosperity.
Okay, that's interesting. So that's wealth. What about relationships? I mean, a lot of people are probably wondering, like, how can I use this to find love?
Well, instead of dwelling on being single, he says you should visualize and affirm the qualities you want in a partner.
So, like, if I'm looking for someone kind of funny, adventurous, I should focus on that instead of just being bummed that I'm single.
Exactly. Like really paint a picture in your mind of what a fulfilling partnership would look like. And trust that your subconscious will bring the right person into your life. He even tells a story about this woman who kept having these disappointing relationships.
Yeah, it sounds like she was getting pretty discouraged. What did she do differently?
She tried Dr. Murphy's technique. She stopped focusing on past failures. And she started visualizing her ideal partner and affirming the qualities that she really wanted.
And she met someone amazing.
She did. She found a really happy and fulfilling relationship with someone who totally matched her vision.
It makes you wonder if we're sometimes attracting the wrong people by focusing on our fears or past hurts.
Right. It's definitely something to think about. And speaking of things that hold us back, Dr. Murphy has a lot to say about forgiveness. He says that holding on to resentment and anger, it actually harms us more than the person we're holding it against.
Yeah, forgiveness, that can be tough, especially when someone's really hurt you.
Oh, totally. And he acknowledges that.
Yep.
But he's not saying you have to condone bad behavior. Forgiveness is more about like releasing yourself from those negative emotions.
But it's not about letting the other person off the hook. It's about freeing yourself from the burden.
Exactly. He has this story about a man who's carrying so much guilt over something he did to his brother, who had already passed away. And this guilt was so bad that it started manifesting as physical ailments.
Wow, what kind of symptoms?
Like high blood pressure, insomnia, just this general feeling of unease that doctors couldn't explain.
So his guilt was literally affecting his health.
And that's what Dr. Murphy suggests. And it wasn't until he finally forgave himself that he found peace and his health started to improve.
Wow, that's powerful. Shows how our emotional and mental state can directly impact our physical well-being.
Yeah. Forgiveness is a gift that we give ourselves as much as to the other person.
Lets us move forward.
Exactly.
All right, so on that note, let's talk about another emotion that can really hold us back. Fear. It's something we all experience, right?
Absolutely. It's natural. It's like a built-in survival mechanism. But we don't have to be ruled by it. We can choose how we respond.
So what are some tools we can use to overcome fear?
He suggests this really interesting technique. You use visualization again, kind of like the singer we talked about earlier. But this time, you're imagining yourself successfully navigating the situation that you're afraid of. So you're picturing yourself feeling calm, confident, in control, overcoming the obstacle.
So like if I'm afraid of public speaking, I would imagine myself giving a speech feeling totally at ease.
Exactly. And the more vivid and frequently you could do that, the more you're impressing that outcome on your subconscious.
Yeah.
He gives this example of a man who was terrified of elevators.
Oh man, that's a tough one. It seems so simple, but I can imagine how limiting that would be.
It was affecting his work. He would avoid going to certain floors, always take the stairs, even if it meant climbing like tons of flights.
So how did he overcome it?
He started small, just visualizing himself standing in front of the elevator doors, feeling calm and relaxed. Then he'd picture the doors opening, him stepping inside, riding up without any anxiety.
And just by doing that, he was able to reprogram his response.
Yeah, it's amazing how the mind works. He practiced it consistently. And eventually, his fear just went away. He could ride elevators comfortably. It made his life so much easier.
These techniques are so simple, but they can have such a huge impact. And you know, it all ties into something else Dr. Murphy talks about, his perspective on aging. He really challenges this idea that our abilities just inevitably decline as we get older.
Yeah, he flips the script on aging. He says age is just a number, and true youthfulness comes from within.
I like that. So it's not about trying to look or act younger. It's about cultivating a youthful mindset.
Exactly. It's about embracing growth and learning, believing that we can achieve more with each year.
So how do we do that? How do we resist those messages that tell us we're supposed to decline?
He gives examples of people who did incredible things later in life. Like the Roman patriot Cato, he decided to learn Greek at 80.
80, wow, that's commitment.
Right. And he also talks about Adelina Patti, this famous opera singer. She actually reached the peak of her career after becoming a grandmother.
So even in a field that's, you know, usually seen as for younger people, she found even greater success later on.
Yeah, she defied those expectations.
Right.
And of course, there's Michelangelo. creating masterpieces into his 80s.
It's really amazing.
It really is. Dr. Murphy's message is so clear. We don't have to buy into this idea that our best years are behind us. We can choose to keep growing and learning and believing that we can do incredible things at any age.
It's like we have to unlearn those beliefs about aging.
Exactly. Our potential doesn't have an expiration date.
This deep dive into the power of your subconscious mind has been amazing. I feel like we've covered so much.
There's so much in this book.
Before we wrap up, though, I want to leave you with this. What if, instead of focusing on our limitations, we truly believed in our unlimited potential?
That's a powerful thought.
It really makes you rethink what's possible.
Yeah.
Not just for ourselves, but for everyone.
It's like a total shift in perspective.
Instead of seeing limitations, we start to see possibilities.
Exactly. And if our thoughts and beliefs can shape our reality, then what we believe is possible becomes the blueprint for what we can achieve.
So what does all this mean for you, the listener? Well, first of all, it means you have more power than you realize. You have the power to heal yourself, to create wealth, to find love, to overcome fear, and to age gracefully.
The key is understanding your subconscious mind and learning to use it on purpose.
We've gone over some of the techniques, like visualization and affirmations and forgiveness, but those are really just the beginning.
It's not enough to just listen to this.
You have to take action. Go back and try out those techniques. See what happens for you.
Notice what changes.
And most importantly, remember, the power is within you.
It's all about discovering it and harnessing it.
That's the message Dr. Murphy leaves us with, a message of empowerment and hope.
Absolutely.
That's it for our deep dive into the power of your subconscious mind. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you'll take these insights and make them your own. Until next time, keep diving deep and keep discovering your incredible potential.
Thank you for being part of the Quicklit community. Please subscribe for get more videos like this.